what are you doing in stewardship that works and that's exciting?
Well, Foothills is a congregation in transformation, and this year's stewardship campaign really showed how that transformation is taking shape. We're in a movement from maintenance to mission, and this year's campaign focused on how that is coming to life and how that is our good news to tell. We began by telling a story instead of making a line item budget. And that story was how our core values of spirit, service, and community are reflected in all of our ministry areas. And that was a really intentional and helpful exercise for us to discuss and envision how our ministries are lived out in those values. We are developing a culture of gratitude. Foothills has always had a core of faithful stewards, and yet what we're seeing is that our newer folks have not been giving as intentionally, and we realized there was a big gap in stewardship education, and that invitation to give had not been communicated well. And so that's what we did in our story. In our sermon series, we didn't do one stewardship sermon this year, we did 7, and we began that conversation on World Communion Sunday, and the sermon was given from the table. So I started using language and imagery of table and abundance, and so for the whole season of giving, we talked about giving from our abundance. In a time of recession and uncertainty, we are still telling the good news of God's abundance, and that's really how we began, and we have been giving thanks, and we saw such big differences in our giving that we are really making true that promise that this would be our year to move from maintenance to real ministry, and we have grown in everything we have put out since then. So life is good, things are good.